Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm going to be solving a LeetCode problem today, and this is actually going to be part of a ongoing thing where I'm going to just be trying to solve at least one LeetCode problem every day. And I'm going to be starting off with easy ones, and once I finish up with all of those, I'm going to be moving on to, medium and then difficult. So with that being said, let's get started. So today we're going to be doing the two sum problem, and let's just read to see what it's about. So it says, given an array of integers, nums, and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. So they have a couple of examples here, and let's just see how they work. So we have an array nums equal to 2, 7, 11, and 15, and the target is 9. So we have to traverse this array and find the two elements that would add up to the target, in this case 9. So we see that the two elements that add up to 9 would be 2 and 7. So we'd return their indices, which in this case would be 0 for 2 and 1 for 7. And that's basically what it says in the explanation right here. And then same thing with example 2, right? So we have 3, 2, and 4 in an array, and our target is 6. So we traverse this array and we find that 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, so we return their indices, 1 for 2 and 2 for 4. And then example 3 is the same thing. So with that out of the way, let's just go straight into implementing our solution. Now I'm going to be using JavaScript because that's the language that I'm most familiar with, but if you guys want to use something else, then the logic remains the same, right? So like I said, the first thing we have to do is traverse this array. So we're going to start off with the for loop, and we're going to say for let I is equal to 0, I is less than the nums dot length, and then I plus plus. So that's going to help us traverse the entire array. And as we're traversing the array, what we have to do is make comparisons, right? So for example, let's use example 2. So we'd want to start off with the first element in the array and compare it to every single other element in the array, right? So we start off by saying, okay, is 3 plus 2 equal to 6? That's false, right? So we continue. And then we're going to stay at 3, and then we're going to say, is 3 plus 4 equal to 6? That's also false. So now we've compared this element against all the other elements in the array, right? So 3 is finished. We know that that one is not gonna be part of our answer. So we move on to 2, and then we say, okay, is 2 plus 4 equal to 6? And it is. So now that we know that, we just get their indices and return them. So 1 and 2. And in order to do that and compare one element against all the other elements in the array, what we're going to have to do is call a second for loop. So let's say for let j is equal to, and in this case we're going to say I plus 1 because we want to compare it to the element right next to I. We don't need to compare 3 with itself, you know what I'm saying? We want to compare it to this element over here to the right hand side. So we're going to say for let j is equal to I plus 1. We're going to say j is less than nums dot length and j plus plus. All right, and then what we're going to do is check if nums I plus nums j is equal to target, right? And if this is the case, then we're going to return I and j, which are the indices corresponding to those numbers. And then I don't think it said anything about like what happens if you don't find a solution, but we're just going to go inside of our code and we're going to return -1 in the event that there's no two integers inside of the array that, when you add them are equal to target. So if we, compare everything, using these for loops right here, and we haven't returned any indices, and that means that there are no two numbers that add up to target. So in that case, we just return -1. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So what do we click run? Okay, and it's accepted. Case 2, case 1. So as you can see, our code passed all the tests, and oh, I don't think this made a difference, but I just noticed something that I guess we could do a little bit differently. So you notice how in the outer for loop right here, we're saying I is less than nums.length. Well, realistically, we could say I is less than nums.length minus 1. And this is because we're never comparing this element with anything to its right, since it's the final element. So we never get to that point anyways, or we never want to get to that point anyways, because it's the last element in the array. So, when we're making our comparisons, we just want to get to the penultimate element, and that'd be the last one that we compare. So yeah, that's just like one small thing I would change. And with that being said, I think we're ready to submit our solution. I don't think there's anything else we can do. There's a follow-up saying if we could come up with an algorithm that is less than O(n) squared time complexity, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do that later, but there's a reason I'm starting off with the easy ones is because I'm trying to get good at this. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we do this later, but I don't know. Right now, there's like the first solution that popped up in my head, and it passed all the tests. So you know what? We're just gonna stick with it and go along. So let's just submit. And so our solution was accepted a few seconds ago. In terms of runtime, it beats 40.17% of users with JavaScript, and in terms of memory, it beats 98.77. So that's it for this video. I'll see if I can do the follow-up and find a way to make this better than O(n) squared complexity, but for the meantime, I accomplished it, I finished it, this is my solution, and we passed all the tests. So thank you for watching, and yeah, like I said, this is going to be a little series I'm going to be doing where I'm just going to be solving different LeetCode problems and basically just thinking out loud and showing my thought process so that hopefully it can help someone else out, and also so that I have something to look back on and study or just reflect on, I guess. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good day.